JSE is starting the month on a firmer footing, while the rand is still struggling against major currencies. Although it is marginally in the green, there's been a slew of company results, and to talk about how many companies have performed well, we're joined by Karl Gevers, an independent market analyst. Karl, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. How are we looking at midday trade?
Yeah, good afternoon. A very strong day today. We saw the Hang Seng close up 4.2% yesterday on the back of very strong Chinese manufacturing data that surprised on the upside, showing a stronger Chinese economy, and that's filtered through to our market. Up across the board, JSE currently up 1.1%, but primarily driven by the resource sector. And we saw the rand also strengthening by about 1%, currently trading at about 18 rand 10 cents to the dollar.
As you mentioned, plenty company results out. MTN Group has released a trading statement, while MTN Ghana has released its financial results. What stands out for you?
Yeah, so I mean, a decent result by MTN Group, at least from a trading statement point of view. So headline earnings per share expected to be up between 12 and 22%, which gets you, and that's for the year, which gets you to 11 rand and 5 cents and 12 rand and 4 cents, so in that range. They have had some adjustments from a hyperinflationary environment and also foreign exchange, given that they operate in a lot of African countries. If we look at Ghana, which also reported their results, so being a subsidiary of MTN, I think quite positive in terms of subscriber growth, up 12.8%. And then, of course, revenue, service revenue up 28.3%. But I think one has to look at the Ghana result, considering the high inflationary environment and also the weakening currency, their currency weakening over the period by 42.8% to the US dollar. So, one would expect some quite significant revenue growth there in local currency.
Let's take a look at news from Woolworths. They've released a record financial performance in their interim results. Tell us more.
Yeah, Woolies reporting a decent set of results. The market, I think, priced in expecting probably a bit more, down about 2.2% on these results. Revenue is up 15%, and headline earnings will be up 75% to 2 rand 84. And then there's also a decent dividend of 1 rand 58 that they'll pay. I think just to note in these results is that obviously the David Jones asset in Australia has been classified as held for sale or disposed, because they're disposing of that. They announced that in December. And otherwise, generally their clothing and fashion businesses have done reasonably well. The food business coming under a bit of pressure, and again, it's the issues of power outages, inflation, and interest rates that are biting in that space, and a lot additional costs in getting food, also wastage playing some role in putting pressure on the earnings on the food side.
Home improvements have pulled back since COVID-19, and this has had an impact on cash build. How so?
Yeah, I mean, during COVID, there was a lot of shift in spend towards DIY, which certainly helped the revenue growth of the likes of cash build. But we've seen in the last period revenue down 4%, headline earnings per share down 39%. So quite a poor result. So revenue down and operating expenses up, which caused that headline earnings per share coming down significantly. They're still paying a dividend, however reduced dividend of 4 rand a share. And I think overall there is significant pressure in that sector. The share price down 5% this morning. And the outlook also not looking great. A lot of competition in the space. So I think some headwinds there for cash build.
Harmony Gold, how did they perform?
Yeah, decent result. Revenue up 6%, but I think the bottom line up 36%, which is pretty good. The net profit line. They've also mined better grades and also had a better rand price per kilogram of gold when they produced, which were two tailwinds for them. So an 18% increase in headline earnings per share, bringing it to 2 rand 93 per share. So overall, not a bad result. I think the share price under a bit of pressure today, down 1.8%. I think more is a case of the outlook for the gold price given the rising interest rate environment. But I think under the circumstances, a good operational result from Harmony.
Karl Gevers is an independent analyst. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.